This video is sponsored by Surfshark.
So off goes the BCA driver, leaving me this. And he had a little chortle, he did have a little chortle. He says he doesn't remember the last time he's delivered a car this old to anyone. Oh dear. Oh, she starts up on the button. Airbag, handbrake, NCVT. They said it had an engine management light, didn't it? Right, let's try and get a bit more speed up and see if it wants to change. No, no change. It's not changing gear, guys. No, I've lost it. I don't know what I've done wrong there. Hi and welcome back to Shop's Garage. For those of you that don't know, this is the Nissan Micra, the K11 Nissan Micra automatic that we picked up from BCA car auctions for £100. Now for £100 what we got was a Nissan Micra with an MOT until February and 165,000 miles on the clock. But as I'll show you, that mileage doesn't really make a lot of sense, and I'll let you form your opinion on what you think's happened there. So I did have this on a previous video, and the car was sold at £100 as having an engine management light on it, which in the previous video we noted was a little red light on a dashboard that said NVCT, which we thought indicated an engine management problem or a gearbox problem. Obviously BCA thought it was an engine management problem. I thought it was a gearbox problem. I promptly hopped in the car, drove it around the car park here in the previous video and said, it's not changing gear, I think there's a problem with the box. At which point, quite rightly, everybody jumped in the comments and said, James, the 1 litre automatic in this is a CVT gearbox, so it doesn't have gears, it just has rubber bands on cones that expand in and out. I'm probably giving the wrong description of how it works, but expand in and out as you put your foot down. So there won't be any gears for it to change. You just put your foot on the accelerator and you'll hear the revs change automatically up and down as the car moves along. So every day is a learning day. Some people even said in the comments I shouldn't be a car dealer because I didn't know that. Well, at the end of the day, everybody that knows that, there was a point at which they didn't know it, they had to learn it. So it was my turn to learn it. And I don't think I have to know every single car in existence to be a decent car dealer. I think that's more a case of, do I actually help you out when you've got a problem with your warranty, isn't it? And do I sell you a decent car that's well prepared? I don't necessarily have to know what every knob, switch and button every model of car is, especially something of this age. So yeah, but you know, I learned something there. I've got no problem with that at all. Every day's a learning day. So and then more comments came in, and there was one particular subscriber told me that, James, you got it all wrong. That's not an engine management light at all on the dashboard. That is just the button on the side of the gear lever that you click in when you want to lock in lower revs. If you actually flick that button back out again, you'll see that light disappears. So I was like, right, okay. And if you take it out for a run again and you just keep your foot gradually on the pedal, gently on the pedal, the car will automatically build speed and the revs will lower as it adjusts itself when you drive it around. I'm lucky in the comments there's a few people that have sold these as well in the past, brand new, so I was able to get lots of advice. So today we find out, is it really just a case of flicking a button on the side of the gear lever and driving the car slightly differently? To find out, we've got a pretty good safe bet of a nice little retailer, because automatics people are crazy for at the moment, and small cheap automatics they're mega crazy for. But speaking of safe bets, before we get into that, it's time to introduce today's sponsor, Surfshark.
Surfshark provides you with a virtual private network, a VPN. This VPN provides a secure internet connection that protects you and your data while online. Now, those of you that watch Chop's Garage on a regular basis will know one of my favourite features of Surfshark is it allows me to watch geo-locked content. By that, what I mean is a lot of the streaming services restrict the movies and series you can watch based on your location, and they judge your location based on your IP address. But with Surfshark, I can get around that. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say I get home from a hard day dealing with tyre kickers and keyboard warriors and just want to zone out and watch Stallone do his thing in the latest Rambo movie. So if I search for Rambo Last Blood, I get no results because that movie is locked. You cannot watch it in the UK. So all I do with my Surfshark is go up to my Surfshark tab, click on it, and select a different location for my IP address. So I'm going to select Miami in the United States. Netflix will now see me as viewing the content from the US. So I've just refreshed the page. Now I can watch a Rambo Last Blood movie. Surfshark are offering Chops Garage subscribers a fantastic special offer of 83% off and 3 extra months free. To take advantage of this special offer, please use the link in the description down below and enter the promo code CHOPS.
Right, so we don't have to go for fuel first. We can check this straight away pretty much, can't we? Because we can see the NCVT is on the dash, which we assumed was the gearbox fault light. So, and also I can have my lesson in CVT gearboxes as well, can't I? Because I was waiting for it to change, and obviously, as you all corrected me pretty quickly, it won't change, James, because it's just a load of elastic bands. Right. So, if we press that button on the side, so the subscriber said that light will show up because you're locked in sport or the other performance level. It's all, that's all it is. So let's hit the button, and it's gone, and the engine note has changed, and we now have no lights on the dashboard at all. We got no fuel. Better go straight to the fuel station. So we have no lights on the dashboard. That light is gone. So presumably BCA thought it was an engine management light problem as well, and they incorrectly put it down. Because as soon as I hit that button again, it comes back on, and I can hear the revs have dropped. If I do that, the revs go. Sorry, no, the revs increase. If I hit that, the revs increase. If I hit that, take it off, the revs drop. So presumably it is like a kick down gear for if you're stuck on a hill or whatever. Gotta love that. I will give her credit for the subscribe when I find his name in amongst all those comments. Look at that. I've got my lights on, not yet. Right, let's go and get some fuel, and then we'll do a longer run, and I need a cold drink as well because I'm baking. Right, we've got some fuel, so I don't have to be panicking because it was right on the empty there. And let's see what this little girl will do then. It's got a red line at 30 mile an hour. I'm not sure what that's supposed to indicate. Is that its top speed? Feels smooth enough. What I need to see is if it'll actually pull itself up a hill or not though. But it was obviously part X for a reason. It's almost more suspicious when they're this old and beat up, because if they're working you just keep hold of them, don't you? Unless someone was given a guaranteed part exchange or something. We've got some hills to test on the way home though. Right everyone, unfortunately my camera ran out on the way home yesterday in the little Micra. It did get me home successfully, but hills were a struggle. I've been reading up a little bit more. I've been asking online, and it appears what I should be doing is dropping down into low manually, as well as hitting the old sport button to lock in higher revs. I'll try and demonstrate it to you. When you're going along it's fine, it'll get up to sort of 60 mile an hour quite comfortably. Oh god, big crack. But when you start getting up to the slightest incline, it wants to die off. Well, he says that, it's actually pulling up this one okay. But there's some very severe inclines on the way into work, and it was down to like 30 mile an hour and that, but to be fair, I didn't drop it into low. So here I put my foot down, it doesn't really do an awful lot at all. It's sort of gradually creeping up to 30 mile an hour. But to be honest, I've got nothing to gauge it against. I don't know how slow these were and obviously, like I say, I haven't been dropping it down into low, so we're going to have a look in a second. We've got a hill coming up. We'll have to look and see if it makes any difference at all. It doesn't like to be rushed. If you slam your foot down on the accelerator, it doesn't like it. If you just put gentle pressure on, it tends to build the speed better for some reason. Again, that might be a characteristic of CVT gearboxes, but we're at 30 mile an hour on this hill. If I put my foot down to accelerate, it's not going to do any more now, so let's try going to low. Well, the revs are rising, but the engine's not doing much. Oh, I can now accelerate though. I couldn't accelerate in the higher gear at 30 mile an hour. It will now accelerate. And let's get back into drive. And we're off! Hey! Let's not run over a cyclist, eh? Here's the big hill. So it's 25% low gear now. We're going to carry some speed down this hill. Try and get on the other side. But not too much because we're on skinny little tyres and a Micra. This bit here can throw you the other way quite badly. No, I've lost it. I don't know what I've done wrong there. Doesn't want to go anywhere. Let's just get it over, see if this person wants to overtake me a second. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we're crawling at under 20 mile an hour. I don't know what I did wrong there. It didn't like it. Drop into low. Doesn't make any difference. Hit the sport button or NVCT. No, it doesn't want to get up here at all, guys. Let's go back into normal drive. We're going up here at like 15 mile an hour. Doesn't feel right to me at all. Unless I just made a complete muck up of that and chose the wrong gears. But it seems to me like when you try and accelerate off, it's, you know, it feels a little bit lurchy here. It appears that you just kind of almost slipping a little bit or something, which I imagine if it's rubber belts it can do so. So next we're coming up to another bit of a hill. This time I'm not going to muck around with it. I'm just going to leave in that drive setting. See, it doesn't seem to, if I've got my foot pinned there, it doesn't seem to, I've let off the gas, now it wants to start to sort of gather a bit of speed. If I pin my foot, it doesn't like it at all. So this one's nowhere near as long, but it's, you know, it's a little bit of an incline. So I want to leave it in the position it was. I'm not going to give it any too hard a gas. I'm just going to leave my foot gently on the accelerator, and bang, speed is dropping super quickly. We're down to 30 mile an hour up that hill. There we go. So I just can't imagine that people are going around doing 20 mile an hour up steep hills in these. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. Comment down below if you know of these cars. Some of you sold them previously, I think you said. I know there is one subscriber that sold these cars from new, so maybe it's something I'm doing wrong with them, or perhaps they're all like this, or perhaps as they get older the belts stretch out, they start to slip a little bit and you just don't get full drive. Or there's still the issue of the little electromagnetic bushes, isn't there? I think that they wear down, so it might be worth checking those still. We've got a very long incline coming out of Umberley here, so let's try starting it in low this time. Well, let's leave it in drive, but put it in NVCT. Let's leave it there. That was too high. That's increased the revs. We kept us in the top gear. And we won't mash our foot on the accelerator, and we'll see what it does. Like I say, I'm not going to mash my foot on the accelerator because that just seems to upset it. It's doing 30 mile an hour and he's beginning to die on the hill still. Got a car up my backside now. It does seem to be doing better with the NCVT in the top gear, because we are starting to accelerate up the hill now actually. So perhaps that's my mistake. I should have just left it in drive with NCVT on, because this is accelerating up the hill now actually. Accelerated up to a heady 40 mile an hour. Right, now we've got to the crest of the hill, let's take it out of that. Accelerating smoothly past 40 mile an hour now in the higher gear. I don't know, it would have made a huge amount of difference. I think perhaps I ballsed up by choosing low at the bottom of the hill, and it was just revving way too much and slipping, and so I lost all my momentum completely. We'll try a couple more hills of that. I know there's another long one coming up. We'll see if that makes a difference there. Old horse. Well, I've spoke to the guy that was behind me on the hill. Right here, this is a long incline here. Right, NCVT early. Don't mash my foot. Just leave it gently on the accelerator. It's holding its speed. It's not dropping. It's not dropping, guys. It's even beginning to accelerate slightly. I mean, we're at 40 mile an hour. I'd hope to be able to get up here a bit quicker than that, but it's holding the speed. It's kind of locked that in. We're losing it ever so slightly a bit of speed. Now we're starting to dip below 40 mile an hour. This is a long hill. I've known people get the wrong gear at the bottom of it and maybe sat behind them while they crawl up it. Now we're starting to gather actually a little bit of speed again, even though we're going uphill. Clearly you need to know what you're doing with one. Once you get a bit confident of what it's going to like, you can make it actually make some progress, but you're still only ever going to be between 40 and 50 mile an hour, 60 mile an hour on the downhill stretches. So there we have it, guys. Comment down below. Those of you who have driven these, you'll be able to tell me how far off this is, because it clearly isn't quite right, but it looks like it would make you, like I say, if you wanted a little local run around, it looks like it could be a nice little car. So the little Micra's got me home and back now. So half an hour there, half an hour back. To be fair, hasn't missed a beat. It had that engine management code come up, but that was because we were revving the living daylights out of it, wasn't it? Trying out the different stuff. It drives really well, to be fair, in terms of suspension and brakes and everything like that. It's a really quite solid little car for the money. Now let's remind ourselves, we bought this for £100 from BCA car auction as having an engine management light on it, which turned out to be that NVCT light, didn't it? It wasn't engine management at all. And we've just it cost £100 in fees and £100 in delivery, so actually owes me £300 as it stands. I haven't put any more money into it so far. What I am tempted to do next is machine polish the body. I'm just tempted to see if we machine polish the body and re-black the black trim stuff, find that one wheel trim. I wonder how tidy it could look. The only thing is, it's kind of like the faded, battered look to it does have a slight appeal, but now I am tempted to see how it will polish up. Now it's got an MOT till February, so it's not actually got a bad amount of MOT on it, really, is it? Especially again for the money. I mean, what can you buy? You know, for really anything with MOT at the moment is £500 at least, isn't it? So yeah, comment down below. What do you think of the driving? Those of you who've had these before and know about them, I'm really interested in your comments as to how you should drive these to get the best out of them and how bad this is. I mean, you might tell me that they actually zip straight uphill, so there's something obviously quite catastrophically wrong with mine. But yeah, comment down below and let me know. As always, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.
Just a quick reminder to get that special offer from Surfshark. Use the promo code CHOPS in the link in the description down below and get 83% off and 3 months extra free. Please do support those companies supporting Chops Garage. See you again soon.